Welcome into Rogue Football. Fired up to get into our Senior Bowl preview here today. Always a great time. The Senior Bowl is lots of talented prospects there every year. None more so than this year. This is the first time we have seen juniors, underclassmen, at the Senior Bowl in these All-Star games. Obviously, you have the Shrine Bowl over in Frisco as well, which has a lot of great prospects, but we will be focusing on the Senior Bowl here on this show. The most talented Senior Bowl in history. Can't wait to get into it. We're going to start on the defensive side of the ball here. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. About to hit 1,000 subscribers so we can monetize. Really appreciate all of y'all out there for tuning in, for subscribing. So starting on defense, looking at defensive backs. Really excited. Quinyon Mitchell. I'm just excited to see what he looks like outside of Toledo. That defense, they were in off coverage almost exclusively. I'm excited to see what he looks like lined up in more man coverage, press. They're going to move him around. Obviously, at the Senior Bowl, when you got these full team practices, it's going to be pretty static, right? You're not getting pre or post snap movement. You can run man coverage, you can run some zone. I don't think you can blitz. So it's pretty static. You're just seeing, can these guys go out there and execute what we've taught them, and see how that goes. And I think Quinyon Mitchell is a guy that more people will get to know out of Toledo. I know he's already a big name, a guy that some people have been mocking in the first round. I think there's a very good chance he will go in the first round, but I'm excited to see how it plays out for him, in a different system, different scheme than what you saw at Toledo, which again was just lining him up way off the line of scrimmage, having him click and close, which he does at an incredible level, right? Like his ability to close on underneath routes, break them up, pick them off, really impressive, but I want to see him do some more. I think he can with his physical athleticism. Max Melton, his bro is in the NFL already, talented prospect. I wanted him to enter the draft last year. He's a good athlete, NFL bloodlines. Just excited to see what he can do out there at DB. Mike Sainristil, still, this is a versatile defensive back, a guy who can play a lot of slot for you, some outside end zone, in my opinion, some safety, a guy that flies around the football field, used to play wide receiver. He is a baller. Making plays every time he steps on the football field, always showing up big for his football team. I want to see what he looks like out there in this all-star event. Kalen King, I think he can kind of replant his flag as someone who belongs closer to the top of this cornerback class. I think if you talked to people in the NFL community, scouting community prior to the 2023 campaign, he's up there with the top guys in this class, but fell off a little bit in 2023. And I think he has a chance to replant that flag. Javon Bullard and Tyke Smith out of Georgia, they don't get the same pub as a Kamari Lassiter, but those are both two really good defensive backs that can be versatile for you. Moving on to the defensive line. There's so many good defensive linemen. There's so many good players at every position here. But I'm excited to see the guys from Clemson, Rook and Tyler Davis. They're both so good. Rook is more of a 3 technique body type, has the length, has good athleticism, but he's really stout against the run. Doesn't really have that refined pass rush skill set yet, but a really good player. I think a day 2 player. Tyler Davis, he's a big boy who can penetrate, who can probably play some 1 tech for you, 3 tech as well. I really like what Tyler Davis brings to the table. Liked both of them last year, quite honestly. Adisa Isaac out of Penn State, Chop Robinson's running mate. Really good base down skill set already. Has the length, has the athleticism to develop as a pass rusher. Excited to see what he does as you see Murray joining the show in the background here today. Really excited. Maybe the most excited to see Byron Murphy, Brandon Dorlus, and Darius Robinson on the defensive front, right? Byron Murphy, he is my interior defensive lineman 2, behind only Jerzon Johnny Newton. I think that Byron Murphy has a chance to go top 15. Brandon Dorlus, I think, has a chance to go late first, early second, in my opinion. I think this is a guy that has the potential to really move around your defensive front, cause havoc, wreak havoc, create penetration. Darius Robinson, another guy I know a lot of people are getting eyes on lately, has incredible length, very good power. Another player who aligned primarily at edge for Missouri, but I think he can move around your defensive rotation as well, defensive front, and create penetration and also play solid against the run. I'm excited to see Michael Hall and Braden Fisk. Hall is a great athlete out of Ohio State. I want to see how stout can he be in some of these one-on-one situations. I want to see Fisk out there with all these dudes. FSU, he dominated for them. Obviously played well before he arrived at FSU as well. But this is a step up from talent perspective. He's not an elite athlete, so I want to see, this is a guy that brings all the energy, all the enthusiasm in the world. He's tough as nails. He's a good interior defensive lineman that can penetrate and cause havoc, but I want to see him in this setting. Tavondre Sweat will be fun to see, just a massive human being, really good interior defensive line prospect. A lot of people kind of compare him to Jordan Davis. I don't think he's going to have the freaky testing numbers that Jordan Davis had, but the tape and the ability to stay on the football field might be even better for Tavondre Sweat. Obviously, Jordan Davis has had struggles being consistent, staying on the football field a lot for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Tavondre Sweat, despite being huge, has a chance to be able to play a good bit more than Jordan Davis. And can't get through this without mentioning Latu Latu out of UCLA, the most refined edge rusher in this class from a pass rush standpoint. I don't think he needs to be out there the whole time here at the Senior Bowl. He could be like a one-dayer, but the way he works, the way he comes at it, I don't think he's going to leave early. But I think he's going to go out there on day one and in these one-on-one situations with his pass rush prowess technique and really his flexibility that's underrated. He's going to go out there and have himself a good time. At linebacker, really excited to see James Williams out of Miami. He played safety for the Hurricanes. He's going to be playing primarily linebacker for this Senior Bowl week. Getting over to the offensive side of the ball. Offensive line, I mean, my goodness. Talise Fuaga, right tackle out of Oregon State. This guy is a mauler, probably the best run blocker in the class. A lot of people think he might play guard as well. I think personally he could play guard because I see reps where the feet are a little bit slow, feet are a little bit plodding. I'm excited to see how he handles some of these edge rushers at the Senior Bowl. Excited to see him versus Latu Latu, which we got to see this year. I think in the run game, Fuaga is an absolute stud as a pass protector. I do still have some questions, quite frankly. Not from a technique standpoint. I think he's really smooth technique-wise, but I do want to see him again physically, athletically. Like, does he have the feet to keep up? Graham Barton, this is a guy that played tackle for Duke the last couple years, played center his freshman year. I think he projects best back at center. I really don't see him as a tackle at the next level. I don't think he has the arm length to get the job done out there, but a really talented blocker who he's at his best when he's moving in space and attacking defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties. Really fun player to watch. Cooper Beebe as well. He's just one of the most stout players, one of the most technical players in this class, and he's played all over the offensive line for Kansas State. Might not have the same level of athleticism or the same arm length as some of these other guys, but Beebe is super stout. I think he's going to be a really good interior offensive lineman. Cedric Van Pran out of Georgia, another guy at center who's going to be a starter in the NFL for a long time, in my opinion. Christian Haynes. This is one of my favorite prospects that not as many people are talking about, but a guy who is not super tall, but has really good length at his size, above average length, and he is mean, he is tough, he can get out and move as an athlete. He can create displacement as well out of UConn. Excited to see him in a step up in competition. Jackson Powers Johnson. I mean, this is my top interior offensive lineman right now, top center prospect in the class, and he's a guy that younger prospect, dominated for Oregon the last couple years, especially in 2023 at center, and plays a little upright, but everything else is awesome about his game. Jordan Morgan out of Arizona, another player who he's coming off an ACL injury in 2022, played in 2023, didn't really look like he missed a beat. And I'm excited to see him in this setting as well. And Troy Fatanu might be my highest rated prospect at the Senior Bowl. He's definitely up there. A guy that plays left tackle for Washington, has great length, again, kind of like Christian Haynes. He's not super tall, but has really good length, proportional length, and just length overall. And really mean pass protector, has the snatch trap, has really quick feet. I think that the sky is the limit for Troy Fatanu, whether he's playing tackle or guard. For me at quarterback, Spencer Rattler has the most to prove, not only on the field, but in the meetings as well. A guy who a few years back was looked at, potentially we're talking about a top of the first round quarterback coming off his freshman year. Didn't quite go his way at Oklahoma, transferred to South Carolina, really progressed in that system, showed more maturity. And I think that this is a quarterback that doesn't get talked about as much now because you have so many quarterbacks that had tremendous 2023 campaigns. And you obviously have Caleb Williams and Drake May and Jaden Daniels at the top of this class. But I think Spencer Rattler could surprise some people and end up being a fairly high draft pick. At running back, Ray Davis, love this kid. I think he's going to end up being a starter somewhere. Has all the tools you're looking for in a starting running back. He's tough. He has quickness, has good long speed as well. Very compact build with power. Dylan Laub out of New Hampshire. I think he's going to be a really good third down back somewhere, pass catching back, and a guy who can pass protect as well. So definitely keep an eye on him. At wide receiver, I mean, this entire wide receiver group is so exciting, for crying out loud. Xavier Legette. Ever heard of him? I mean, this is the guy that had the fastest timed speed of any ball carrier at the collegiate or NFL level in 2023. He did that at 6'3", 230 pounds almost. He is a freak. He can high point the football. Don't think he's going to be the loosest in terms of route running and all that fun stuff, but I'm excited to see him out there. Excited to see him high point the football, maybe put some people on skates with his speed and power combination. Malachi Corley, another prospect who I'm really excited about. He's a hair under 6 feet, it looks like, but he's 210 pounds. Entered college as a running back, developed into a great offensive weapon, and people knock him for his route running or lack of route tree at Western Kentucky. But I think that he has the movement skills, the fluidity to develop into a very good route runner, and I think he can be an offensive weapon, and I think he can be an outside receiver. For an NFL team. If you've got the coaching, I think he's got the skill to get it done. Jamari Thrash, just a really good route runner, really smooth. I think that he's going to end up being a contributor early on in his NFL career out of Louisville. Ladd McConkey and Ricky Pearsall got the white boys out there running routes at a really high level. I think that both of these guys might be the top 2 route runners in this class, quite frankly, outside of like Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors. But these guys are awesome. Really awesome football players. Excited to see them out there. And they're not just technicians, route runners. They've got some good athleticism to them as well. McConkey's Georgia teammate, Marcus Rosemy-Jack Saint, excited to see him as well, a guy that doesn't get a lot of pub. Johnny Wilson out of Florida State. He'll be fun just to see out there at his size. I mean, looks like a tight end. Maybe will play tight end at the next level. But he's got some legitimate skills. Hands have been suspect throughout his career, but he can make some plays for you. Javon Baker. I was recently put on to Javon Baker, and this is going to be a day 2 prospect for me all day. Was a big-time recruit for Alabama, transferred to UCF, and he is a guy that, at 6'2", over 200 pounds, he's got the physicality you're looking for to play outside, but he has the rare quickness and twitch that you don't see from a lot of players at that size. And I think he has enough long speed to get away from a lot of guys, combined with his physicality and quickness and twitch. He's a really fun prospect that I think is going to be probably a starter at the NFL level. Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son, ever heard of him? Out of USC. He's another big, athletic wide receiver that I think has a chance to rise throughout this process. Aniyah Smith and Jacob Cowing are small but super fun, guys that have a chance to go out there and make some plays. Luke McCaffrey, brother of Christian, had himself a day in the conference championship, son of Ed. He's got bloodlines. He is tough. Entered college as a quarterback. He's now a wide receiver, listed at 6'2", over 200 pounds. This is a guy that comes down with most of the contested catches thrown his way. Like, you see him getting absolutely smacked between safeties, coming down with the football. He's got good athleticism overall, good size. I think Luke McCaffrey can definitely be a riser. He's probably looked at as a late day 3 prospect right now. I think he's going to end up going a lot higher than that. Probably not into day 2, but probably early to mid day 3. There's a lot more guys that I have not mentioned here. It's going to be awesome out there. I cannot wait to watch these practices. Won't be there this year with the newborn, but hopefully get out there in 2025. But I'm excited to watch all the clips, to watch all the coverage, to get in here and see what happens at the Senior Bowl this week. Shout out to the Senior Bowl, Jim Nagy, everyone involved. It is a tremendous operation. And fired up for another Senior Bowl week here. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all have a good one.